Yes, your eyes aren't lying to you. It's feeling you with Vic the Brick Jacobs and PJ. We are back. This is after Vic was injured and he's recovered. He's here to tell us exactly what happened, Vic. It looks like a bad injury with those glasses on, but you're back. You're feeling good. We're so happy to have you, Victor. Oh, there's Vic.
Oh no!
I
Oh no!
thought that. See, look at that. Wow.
Is
What
that
kind of
wild?
shot is that?
It's the new me.
Okay.
It's the new me. But I want to thank all our podcast listeners to feeling you with Victor Brick Jacobs and PJ for bearing with me. I suffered an infection, a severe infection, where I had to be hospitalized, and then I had a 24/7 antibiotic fusion um, with a daily nurse taking care of me. So I want to thank all the doctors. I want to thank all the nurses. I want to thank all the support staff. And of course, I want to thank my beloved bride, Yuko Sakamoto,
Yes, Yuko, give it up for her because
for
she's,
taking care of me and
yeah.
bringing me back from wherever I was. I was attached to a wire and a pump. You don't want to know. But again, brush your teeth. Take care of your oral. Your oral work is very important.
Flossing.
And
Flossing is the thing. Floss twice a day.
flossing is very big.
Yes. Yeah.
And I want to thank also to all our listeners. I want to thank special mention to Matt Money Smith of the Petros and Money Show on
Yes.
AM 570 LA Sports, who opens the top of the hour of their show, the PMS show, with a love to the gong, as he always says, gong me ukes. So right now we're going to start as well with a little gong me ukes.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wow. We ought to have a gong off with Petros and Money. I think we should have a gong off. Who's
I
who's
like that.
got the bigger gong?
Well, our gong is pretty large, and
Yes.
Yuko does an amazing job gonging it. But
Yuko's the yeah, she handles the gong, but they've got a pretty good gong themselves. I
they
think
got a
we should
great gong.
Yeah, I think we should go Petros Money versus us in a gong off, and let's see who has the biggest gong.
There we go. There we go.
That's it.
So again, it's been a couple months since we've been on, and a lot has gone on.
Whew.
And I'm wearing a hat. I have not climbed Machu Picchu in Peru, but my son Stoney and his wife Stephanie got back from a trip about 6 months ago and brought me back this hat from Lima, Peru. That's what the Peruvians wear.
That I mean, to me, it looks like you've gone fishing.
Yeah.
Really, if you just had one little lure hanging there, you'd be good. You'd be good as gold.
I am. I got the Machu Picchu flavor for you.
You do.
Out of
Where's that? Where's the mink? I mean, you know, you always wear the mink. It's your signature thing. So actually, I want to ask you a question.
of
I
course,
I was lucky enough a couple years ago to hold the Stanley Cup and meet the keeper of the cup, who's his name is Phil, and he's amazing. I think it's Phil Pritchard, I think, or yeah, something.
he wears the white gloves,
Yes, and he travels, so he's the keeper of Lord Stanley's cup. Wherever it goes, he goes. He wears the white gloves.
the sacred silverware.
That's it. So in the same vein, Yuko is, I think, the monitor of the mink. I think she takes care of the mink. She monitors it. We should name her the monitor of the mink. And really, how does she take care of it? I mean, where does she store it? Do you vacuum mink? What do you do? How do you keep that thing so vibrant and fresh after all these years?
It's a great question. It's a great question, PJ. It should be refrigerated
Yeah.
in
For
the optimum conditions. If you have a giant mink coat that you're very that you love and
yeah.
you want to wear it for a number of decades, you would refrigerate it. But the kids today are buying a lot of fur. Fur used to be on the back burner because of all
Yes.
the controversy. Now the kids today, they're buying the mink because it's biodegradable.
Okay.
The kids are wearing fur.
Wow.
Don't be afraid of the fur. That's all I'm
Wow.
saying. It's an incredible fashion piece, and we have it on a hat rack at home.
Oh, okay.
Yuko bought me a giant hat rack from downtown LA maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I still use it. It's an incredible piece, and I'm able to put all the fur, all my lids on the hat rack
Wow.
in the bedroom.
Amazing.
Maybe that's why Yuko doesn't come to the bedroom much anymore.
I
But
think
the bottom line, the furs do take up a lot of the room.
yes, they do.
But optimum conditions, you would refrigerate fur.
Yeah,
But that's what got like a giant fur coat or something. But
right.
it, it's natural. It's natural fur. It's very big with the kids right now.
Oh, they love it. They love it. All right, so we cleared that up. Let's jump into the draft, Vic. We have so much to talk about. Let's get to the draft. What the heck happened with Sanders?
Shedeur Sanders. Why did he slip into number 144, the fifth round with the Cleveland Browns? Now, rumors are he had some really schlocky interviews, especially with the New York Football Giants, where the coach and Sanders actually had a falling out, where he
Oh,
didn't do his homework on an assignment. So apparently, he and the New York Giants really, according to a lot of different stories and sources, didn't go well. And that might have traveled through the league, that he didn't do good interviews, that he's not prepared. I don't buy into that.
yeah.
I am not privy to those interviews. The kid at Colorado put up insane numbers. And yes, they didn't win, their conference. They didn't win a bowl game. But when he was in the pocket and rolling out, he was electric. His teammates loved him. Of course, Papa Sanders loved him, but his teammates loved him. I believe the Cleveland Browns got a steal with Shedeur Sanders in the fifth round. They traded up to get him.
Yep.
And now Cleveland has a great quarterback in waiting. I mean, Joe Flacco is your starting quarterback? I don't think so. They got Flacco. They drafted Gabriel out of Oregon.
They got Watson, they got Pickett, right?
Yes,
I mean, they've got some, I don't know, it throws a lot of controversy, I think, into their locker room. It really does. I mean, to bring in Sanders, as good as he is, you've got Pickett, you've got, like you said, Flacco, you've got Deshaun Watson. I mean, they're gonna have to get rid of a couple of these guys.
I mean, five guys competing. Who do you think, PJ, will be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? You think it's going to be Flacco because Shador is not going to be ready?
If it were me, I would go with Pickett.
Wilson Pickett, the midnight hour.
Yeah, that's the one. But no, I think they'll start with Flacco because I think Sanders can learn. But it'll be one of these transitions like in the third or fourth week, all of a sudden Sanders is in there. And because Flacco really a steady hand, he can get them going. I just don't think he can sustain a season. I've never seen him sustain an entire season. He's great in bursts, amazing in bursts.
And he's not the future. I mean, the future of the Cleveland Browns is Deshaun Watson, but he's banged up. He's not going to play.
No, he's not going to
But
play.
Shador, standing by, I believe that was one of the steals of the draft. Was fifth round Shador Sanders to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
So
and speaking of steals, how could the Steelers, who had first crack at him, let him get away? I don't know. What are they doing in their locker room? I mean, are they putting all the peanuts on Aaron Rodgers?
well, Aaron is what, 52 years old now, and
I think so.
sitting in
I
dark
mean,
rooms and taking mushrooms. I don't think that's gonna be the future with Mike Tomlin.
yeah,
I
I
really
don't
don't.
either.
He should have signed already. I mean, he's
Yeah,
not a Pittsburgh Steeler.
no,
He should have signed already. He's in limbo, and meanwhile the Steelers are in limbo. But I'll tell you who's not in limbo are the Raiders. The
oh,
Raiders, I believe, with Ashton Junty,
yeah,
the best running back in the draft. This
killer,
kid is a tank.
yeah,
He's
killer.
5'8", but it's like it's tackling a refrigerator going 20 miles an hour.
No, he's huge. Yeah, he's just like you say, he's a little rolling tank, and I think it's right up Pete Carroll's alley.
Oh,
Right? And
love it.
he's from Tailback U originally. So I think it's a smart move. I think you watch out for the Raiders. Not that they're gonna get to the I don't think they're gonna get to the playoffs this year, but maybe in a year or so. But they're really building. They're building.
Well, Pete Carroll's a great coach, but the draft for the Raiders, when you go, we can pick up a guy like Ashton Junty.
Mhm.
You're in good shape because he's an instant playmaker, and it's going to be another weapon.
Yep.
Another weapon. They need playmakers. They need players. I mean, the Raiders have so many needs,
Right.
and they drafted a solid draft for the Raiders. But having him at number 6,
Oh,
having him fall into their hands, because Jacksonville, I thought Jacksonville was going to nab him, but
yeah.
luckily Ashton fell in, and he's had some big games in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh,
As a member of Boise State, the Boise State Broncos, he's had some big games
big games.
in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, and he loves to carry the load. I mean, 2,600 yards in
He's a
one season.
workhorse. Yeah.
I don't care who the team is.
Yeah.
He loves carrying the ball. Put the weight right on him.
Yep.
Put the weight right on Junty. He wants the ball.
Yeah.
Give him the ball.
Give him the
Let
ball.
Geno Smith give him the ball.
Yeah. What about Cam Ward? And for Tennessee? Where does that leave Will Levis? I mean, is this strictly a competition thing, or did Will have his time and they feel like he didn't come through enough, so they're going to bench him? What do we think?
Cam Ward, the stud.
Yeah.
It was a very thin quarterback class.
Yeah.
There weren't many great quarterbacks out there, but Cam Ward was one, out of Miami. I mean, this kid is a worker.
Yep.
This kid has paid his dues. I don't think he got a division. I think he got maybe one Division I scholarship out of high school.
Yeah.
He was like totally ignored. So he's kept battling. He's kept grinding. And, Cam Ward is worthy of the number one. And it was really cool to see Warren Moon, the Hall of Fame quarterback,
Yeah.
take the number one and present it.
That was great.
As a former Oiler, the Houston Oilers back in the day,
Yeah.
and presenting him with the number one jersey. That was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Cam Ward. I mean, there was no one else. There was no one else but Cam Ward.
Yeah, no, he was the one. I just don't know where that leaves Will Levis. I thought Will did a pretty good job. I know he's got a lot of growing still to do, but they've got two now very, very young guys there, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you need quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's face it; it's a tried and true. It's not just a prophecy. You need a quarterback.
Right,
You must have pressure.
right,
Quarterback and edge pressure. So as you saw, the nature of the draft this year was pressure.
pressure.
That is the key. And running backs. Remember, running backs were defunct. No
Yeah,
one was taking running backs 10 years ago. It was like a
right,
dead position. Now
right.
that they've rediscovered the fact
Yeah,
that
of
you need a running game to set up
course.
the passing game.
Yeah,
And now there was a lot of running backs taken. It wasn't, a lot of quality running back. Look at the Chargers.
yes, yeah.
You
Chargers
know,
did. Yeah, the Rams even reached up and got it second. Their second pick was a running back. I think Hunter went there, but yeah, it's interesting how things have changed. They go O-line, then they go uh, running back all of a sudden, right? You know, but again,
running,
like you said, it's a very
running backs are
thin.
very valuable
Yeah,
right now, which I like because I enjoy a good running game. And getting back to the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh wants to run it down your throat,
yeah,
and he's found a nice running back in O'Marion out of North Carolina. He's a very solid running back, good speed, good power, runs furious, runs downhill,
yep,
has great angles. Was a stud in North Carolina. He was the second best running back, in the draft, and I like what the Chargers did. Rams, traded their number one. They were standing at 26. They traded to Atlanta. They got a first round draft pick.
yep,
Les Snead, the GM, is a genius.
yeah.
No, and Sean McVay, that's an incredible 1-2 punch.
It really is.
I mean, you've
Yeah,
got to have a general manager, head coach, 1-2 punch when you're drafting, and those two guys are studs.
yep.
And listen, they were one play away from beating the Eagles last year,
One play. One
and
play.
they don't have a long way to go. Matthew
No.
Stafford needs weapons. He's got a couple weapons now, and they fortified their O-line, as most teams do. They realize you got to protect your quarterback. So
Yes.
there was a lot of O linemen being drafted, and a lot of pressure, edge rushers being drafted because you must pressure the quarterback, and you also have to establish your running game.
Well, that's it. That's how you open up your passing game. If it's
Yes,
kind of a running game, they got away from that. Yeah, you're dead in the water. So, yeah, you're right. They're doing the right things. They're doing the right things. I think too. I'm with you on that. What
but
about let's go over to the lake show. What's happening there? I mean, how do you tell me how you really feel? Let's take off our Homer gear for a moment. There you go. Feeling you.
I'm feeling you.
And let's talk about the Lakers because the Lakers, I think, are spotty. They're obviously on and off, and you can see the frustration in JJ's face coaching these guys. They're good. They've got some great players. They've got AR. They've got Doncic now. They've got some really good players, but at the same time, they're a little spotty, and I'm a little worried about them. Even in this series, I'm worried about them against the Timberwolves.
This Daniels guy, I think he's grown 3 inches in the first 4 games. I think he came into the playoffs at 6'8". Now he's like 6'11". It's insane how long they are. They're
Yeah,
physical, and the Lakers got physical, early in the series. But when it came back to Minnesota, again, Minnesota again imposed their will, and it's very difficult, to win on the opponent's court. But
yeah.
as a great Pat Riley says, you win championships on the road.
Well,
You,
and
you
he's
know
right.
you maintain your home court. They didn't. They didn't do that. The
No,
Lakers didn't do that.
no.
They needed to sweep. They didn't. So they gave Minnesota, an edge there.
Yep.
But I believe it's going to go 7.
Okay.
And the underdog Lakers, I believe they're the underdogs because
Yep.
Minnesota, although they finished 1 game behind the Lakers, I believe they have much more weapons than the Lakers.
You
The,
watch this team, with McDaniels and of course Anthony Edwards, all these players that they have, they are incredible. They're incredible. They're a very scary team to have to play. They remind me of OKC. They're very dangerous, and they could do anything.
they're underrated.
Yeah.
They flew under the radar,
Yeah.
and everyone was going gaga with Doncic.
Yep.
Doncic has played fantastic basketball, but again, the Lakers do not protect the rim. You
No.
can get to the rim very easily against the Lakers, and Minnesota likes to drive.
Yeah.
And the referees will give them the whistles. They'll give the aggressive team the whistles.
Right.
And it's been Minnesota who's been more aggressive. I mean, who really drives to the hoop for the Lakers? I mean, Doncic, will match up.
Yep.
He'll get the Gobert matchup he wants. Occasionally, Austin Reeves will drive. But Minnesota is the more aggressive team. And I believe, they'll get the calls. But Doncic,
Ooh.
when he's right,
Oh, he's
and
amazing.
he got him to the finals list. He got Dallas to the finals list.
Yes, he did. On
And
his back.
They beat Minnesota list. Doncic
Yeah.
beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so, LeBron's been an animal, and I say that with love. At 40, 41, Methuselah, he's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. I mean, we are witnesses to an incredible phenomenon in
Yeah.
LeBron James, and a lot of people, like to bag on LeBron. I respect this game immensely. We are lucky to see a talent
Yeah.
like LeBron James in Los Angeles, night after night. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they need help. The bench is very thin.
Yeah.
They're not getting production. Minnesota gets, I believe, more production from their bench, which
Yep.
is important in the playoffs. There's always one guy who steps up, who was not productive during the year, but in the playoffs, he has a really good game. And the Lakers are not getting that. Um, they're getting the production from the big three, and that's it. They need more from
That's it.
They need more from Hachimura.
Yes.
I believe he's the key. Rui Hachimura is a solid player, but he's got to get like 15, 16 points a game.
Yes.
You got to get points, from your bench. Um,
Yeah.
Jackson is. I'm not seeing much action from the bench.
Well,
And
Vinny Smith is supposed to be really good, and he sometimes he does it in spurts too. But I'd like to see more of Connect because he's a three shooter, a
he
pure
can shoot. He hasn't
three
gotten much
shooter,
action.
and he's not getting much action in these games where we're up against these threes. The Timberwolves are firing threes like crazy. I think a little more Connect in there to let him play and let him get warmed up and shoot his three would really help us.
That's a good call, PJ, because they need help off the bench.
Yeah,
They got to keep Minnesota honest. But when Minnesota gets the ball, they just
yeah,
seem to have more options.
yeah, they
So the
do.
Lakers, they have to tighten up. They have to regain the hunger.
Yep.
It's going to be tough. This is a very difficult matchup for the Lakers. I believe they were the underdogs coming in, even though they had home court advantage.
Yep.
That's basically gone now. But
Gone.
Minnesota, very underrated. Drew Randall. Don't forget
Oh.
the ex-Laker, Julius Randle, the Jew Randall. I don't think he was bar mitzvahed, but Drew Randall has been having a solid series.
Really good.
He's like the X factor.
Yeah.
McDaniels has been unbelievable. Of course, Ant-Man's
Oh,
unbelievable, and Drew Randall has been sensational.
yeah, he has. He really has. And I don't know if he's a little extra because he's playing his former team,
Yes,
probably a little bit, but at the same time, he's hitting threes. He's driving to the
he
basket.
drives at will.
Yeah, and you
That's
can't
the thing with
stop
the
him.
Lakers. You drive at will. They don't have an enforcer
No.
under the rim, protect the paint.
Right.
Uh, LeBron maybe 10 years ago could do that, but he can do it in spurts. He'll get a beautiful block or something.
Right.
He
Right.
can play defense in spurts, but Lakers got to step up the D. Remember, they held them to 85 points one game
They did.
at home. They've got to duplicate that incredible effort. But how about the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets?
But that's the other thing we got to talk. That is a series. I mean,
Woo!
between those two, I'm having so much fun watching those two teams go at it. I really am. It's fantastic.
Instant classics. Almost every game is an
Every
instant
game.
classic.
Yeah,
Uh, P. Lou has done a great job with this team, but
I think so.
Clippers have four guys
Yeah.
who basically can get you 20, 25. Of course,
Yeah.
led by the claw, Kawhi. The
Yes.
Beat's been playing, beautifully.
Yeah, Beard's doing great. He's getting in some fights. I like it. See, I
Yeah,
like I
there's a
like
lot
I
of
like that.
spirit, a lot
Yeah.
of spirit,
Yeah. Yeah. A
and
lot of
it's
spirit going on. But
and they play good defense. That's the key. They play good defense.
yep.
It's a tough. Zubac plays. The Joker is better than anyone in the league.
Joker's amazing.
Makes him work, but
Always.
the joke is a walking triple double. He's
Yep.
insanely talented.
Yeah.
And Murray is tough. And Gordon beat him with that last second, tap. Uh, stole a game from them. That could have been the series. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Clippers they got to win a couple games. And on the road, they got to win on the road.
Don't you think Gordon is a little underrated?
Aaron Gordon, absolutely.
I mean, I think he's a sensational player. I really do. I watch him, the way he's always under the basket, the way he can shoot. I mean, he's playing full speed all the time. He's a goer. He doesn't
The,
stop.
and the Nuggets with no head coach. Remember, they lost the head coach was fired 4 games
Fired.
to go in the regular season,
Yeah.
and yet they come together and they're playing for this new guy. It was Edelman,
Yeah.
uh,
And
and
I don't know. I don't
they're
even know
playing
who he
well.
is, but I know that I really thought that they were going to become a little disorganized and lose their momentum, but they somehow have pulled it together and they're playing better. So yeah, they're right in there against. Now, who do you think we got? We got the Lakers. We've got obviously the Clippers. Which one of those teams is going to get furthest in the play? Come on, Rick. Come
Clippers,
on,
Clippers. Well,
Clippers.
let me rethink that because
Think
the
it.
Clippers have Oklahoma City if they do get past Denver,
Yeah, which is scary.
which is very scary because Oklahoma City is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Um, Let me rethink that. That's a
Okay.
great question. I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
know.
ask
I
it
don't
at
know.
the end of the show.
I'm not sure if either team is going to escape the first round. I think the Kings might. I think the Kings might go deeper.
Lord Stanley, let's get the Kings and let's get another Stanley Cup.
Kings Oilers is a great series. I don't know that's really been incredibly physical.
Yeah,
To
I'm
see the
having fun
Kings
with it.
win two
Yep.
at home they're the best home ice team in the league. They should take care of business with Edmonton, but it'll be great to see the Kings, make a deep run. But that is wild that the Kings might make a deeper run than the Lakers and the Clippers. But let's face it, it's a long series. You got to win four, first to four. Just because
Yeah,
you win two or even three doesn't mean you've won. You've won your series. You've got to win four,
exactly.
and that's tough. And the Clippers play that great defense, and the Lakers are capable of playing the great defense. So it's wide open. I'm just digging these playoffs. How about Golden State? How about Curry?
Oh
How
my
about
God.
Steph Curry?
Oh.
He is so incredibly talented.
You know what he showed in the Olympics? You think back to the Olympics and you saw how unbelievable he really, if you ever had any doubts, I think the Olympics showcased him so well and just how he just fired it up and took over. And he's doing the same thing again. And it's like this guy, I don't know where he gets it from. He just sits there and he just comes out and he's kind of, off balance when he's shooting and amazing shooter. Just incredible. We all know that, but I mean, just to see him in action and
And he
see
can
what he
drive.
does.
He is an
He can
excellent.
drive.
He's
Yeah.
a great penetrator and
Yeah.
distributor.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
super talented. I remember when he was playing at Davidson back, when he was in college,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, didn't give him love coming out of Davidson, but
Yeah.
Golden State made the move. I think Jerry West was up there at the time,
Yep.
and this kid can shoot.
Wow.
He comes from a great family. Del Curry, his father was a great shooter in the NBA. But he has been sensational. Desmond Green has been very, very solid.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, but Houston, what they did to the Butler,
Yeah.
that was a dirty play. That guy, uh, uh, I'm not sure who submarined them on the Rockets. They're such a nondescript team.
Oh
They're a
yeah.
good team. Listen, they were the number 2 team in the West, but
Yeah.
they're still nondescript. They have no experience. But what they did, to the Butler, when Jimmy went to pelvic injury, I was really scared. I'm glad nothing was broken. He might come back in the series. I think he will. He's a tough dude, man. Jimmy
He's tough.
Butler is one tough dude.
That injury, they say, normally it's like could be like 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how bad it is. But at the same time, like you say, he's such a tough guy. They're a
Oof.
different team without him, though, Vic. They're,
Yeah,
even with Stephen Curry, they need him.
they need Butler.
Yeah.
That's why they got him. He really propelled them
Yeah.
into the to upper tier in the West. But they,
Yes.
they need Butler. But Curry's been incredible. I mean, Green's got to really step up his scoring. If Jimmy is out for a couple more games.
Yeah.
But that's a good series too. Houston, no respect, even with the number 2 seed.
No. Yeah. No
And of course,
respect.
Memphis gone. Did they really play Oklahoma City? I mean, that was done in like an instant. That was like a woo.
I think it was
Gone
for
quick.
Oklahoma. That was just a warm up. That was
Woo.
warm up games. They just
Okay.
breezed by them. It was,
OKC plays great defense,
oh my God, do they? Yeah.
and they're gonna be rough. And again, if the Clippers get by, they're gonna play OKC.
Yep.
That's a rough
Wow.
series.
That's really rough.
How
Yeah.
about the Dodgers, Paul?
Vic, I'm loving life. I mean, look at us. We could have 3 championships sitting here, right? We could have the Kings, we could have the Dodgers repeat, we could have the Lakers or the Clippers. Anything is possible, but I'm loving it. The Dodgers well, they were a little slump, but they fixed that yesterday.
No one
Yeah,
has more love for the Azul.
yeah.
Give it up for the Azul, for the
No,
blue, than myself.
you're the number one.
But I have been very troubled the way they've been playing. It's not
Yeah.
clean.
No.
There's been a lot of injuries. The pitching staff suddenly is thin again. I mean, Snell, who knows how long he's going to be out?
Yeah.
The two-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell's been out.
Yeah.
Trinan's out.
Yes.
They have to test their depth, which is deeper than the Marianas Trench, y'all. Island of Guam. Half a day, sports fans.
I
Half a day to all of
love
our
it.
Guamanian and Chamorro brothers and sisters out there listening to Feeling You with Victor Brick Jacobs and PJ. But I have doubts. Yuko and I watch the games religiously,
Yeah.
and I'm loving, what Will Smith is doing. He's having a great year. But
Yes.
who else is really having a good year besides Will Smith? Tommy Edmond early.
I
He's
love
been
Edmund. I
love.
love
Everyone
Edmund.
loves Edmond. He's a nice. What a pickup that was. But Otani's just coming out of the funk.
Yeah.
Mookie's been in the funk.
Yeah.
Freddie's been solid, but nothing fantastic. Oscar has been amazing, an RBI machine. Um, Muncy it's been a disastrous year for Muncy.
Well, Muncy carried over from the playoffs last year. He was in a funk even when we won, he was in a funk. You remember he wasn't hitting.
Yes, that's right.
And now he's carried over to this, and he does play great defense. And I'm hoping he gets his swing back. I noticed one thing. He is walking more, which means he's thinking about it, at least, you know.
Well, more quality at bats.
Remember
Yeah.
before he was taking those wild swings when the ball's outside and striking out over and over again. So he's thinking about it, but let's hope we can get him back because what a powerful team when he's hitting.
Oh, he's the X factor.
Yeah.
And now Pages is hitting a little bit. Pages
Paz
is playing great defense,
showing up.
showing up.
Yeah.
And Shohei is so happy because
Yeah.
if Pages hits, at number 9 and gets on base, then Shohei has some chances to knock in runs. But also want to congratulate Otani-san and Mamiko on
Yes.
the birth of their beautiful baby girl.
Yes.
So congratulations. As they say in Japanese, Yo gatane. We are so happy for your happiness, Otani-san and
Yogatane.
Mamiko.
I like it. Yogatane.
Yo gatane. We're very, very happy. But, he came back. It was 2 for 14. So,
Yeah.
the daddy strength didn't kick in until, maybe 3 or 4 games later. But we need, Otani is Otani. He's going to be sensational. Mookie will hit. Freddie will hit. Teoscar is solid.
Yeah.
Will Smith's enjoying an incredible season thus far.
Yep.
Tommy is an incredible pickup. So up and down the lineup, it looks great. They
Yeah.
just have to execute. They'll break out. They'll stop this funk. And despite everything, they're still in first place. So bottom line is,
Yeah.
the Dodgers, with all the pitching woes and the injuries and the slumps, they're still in first place. That's how deep they are. Dave Roberts, manager of the year again.
Yes.
The sensei, the teacher, the Lama, he's been unbelievable. When he pinch hit, Kike against the Pirates,
Yes. How
and
about that?
Kike clubs the 3-run homer.
Oh
I
my
said
God.
that's managing.
Yeah.
Knowing Kike's on the bench, left-hander, is coming in for the Pirates, and Kike just blasted, after Teoscar tied it. That's what maybe that was an impetus. Maybe that was a crossroads.
I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of changed it for us. And now maybe that'll get us out of our funk and we'll start moving, you know. And hopefully that's true. We'll see. We got a long
Well,
season ahead of us.
I'll tell you what moves me, PJ.
Yeah.
American Idol. Do you watch the show?
I do on and off watch that show, you know. Depends, for me, it depends who's competing, you know, and this year they have some pretty good people, but you know, why? Who do you like?
Well, number one, I'm very upset. I'm fuming. Yuko and myself, devotees of the show, for the last, I don't know, 25 years, since Ryan started the show.
Yeah.
And we love the show. Love the show because it brings people together under one roof, the roof of
Yes.
music. It's the bridge that brings everyone together. And the show had an incredible opportunity this year in all this, political tumult, around the world. They had a talent from East LA who was a sensational singer, MLK,
Oh,
MKY,
MK,
MKY.
MKY.
Did he go as Mickey Malone? Did he go as Mickey? He went as Mickey, and he was definitely had the Latino flavor out of
Uh-huh.
East LA. His backstory: you had him driving on Whittier Boulevard. His family was in the um, rock and roll business in East LA in the '60s.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he had a cousin from the band Tierra. He has an incredibly rich musical background, and he was just slaying it. He was tremendous. He was laying down songs. The judges loved him. The
Yeah.
judges loved him, and they gave him incredible reviews. When they went to Hawaii, he knocked out the entire island with his performance. And he was sensational. People loved him, and he was just joyful. Good-looking guy.
Are you
Uh,
telling me they didn't
he
continue?
was screwed.
What?
He did not get to the final 20. He didn't
Oh,
get
so
to the
that so he
final
was
20.
he was voted off the island by
He
the
was
populace.
by the populace. The judges did not vote him off, but the populace voted him off. And
Wow.
why didn't American Idol have like a golden gong where one of the hosts can hit it to get someone through who deserves to get through, like this kid from East LA? He
Yeah.
deserved to get to the final 20. Now, would he have won? I don't know. But I'm looking at the talent this year. I'm seeing a lot of folk singers. I'm seeing a
Yeah.
lot of big voices, but I'm not seeing great personality up there. I'm not seeing great charisma up there.
Right.
This kid had it. This kid had it. And Paul,
Wow.
you know it because you've been,
Yeah.
you've been doing TV shows, for decades.
Yeah.
You know talent. This kid had the talent. So I am so upset with the Idol, and I love the show. Don't get me wrong, but in this case,
Uh-oh, I feel
when they see the
something.
brick,
Yeah.
this is not a homemade brick. You see the brick. You see it, Idol.
Uh-oh.
You see it. Get the golden gong out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boy, that was powerful stuff. That was powerful stuff.
It moves me,
Yeah.
especially I'm a devotee of the show,
Yeah.
and Yuko and I, we will grade them. We'll
Yeah.
actually grade them. We'll say, well, he gets through, she gets through, he deserves to get through, she deserves to get through. And when this such a talented kid. I mean, he was the second coming of Richie Valens.
Wow.
This kid was just insanely talented. I'm sure he'll make it, but in this Idol show, he was out.
Oh, it's too bad. Yeah, but it's a competition,
It's
right?
a competition, and
And
the nation voted. But music brings us all together. That's
yes,
the
it
key.
does. Either
It
way.
brings us all together.
Yeah.
It's the universal harmonies. You know, I don't care what your political affiliation is. You love music. We all
Right.
love, and music makes us one.
Yes. Yeah.
It's one of the great, great uniters. So, you
Well,
know,
we've got we'll keep an eye on that. We've got so much coming up, Vic, and I'm so glad you're back because we're going to be on every week again, going through it. And you have to give us a pick in this. I mean, you have to tell us. You have to. What is going on with the Lakers and the Clippers? Now, you said you wanted to revise it. You said the Clippers, and then you said, well, let me think about it. This is the end of our show, and so we need your pick. Who's going to the next level? Is it going to be the Lakers or the Clippers?
okay, before I get to this pick, I want to set it up with a giant gong.
Yes.
So, gong me, you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Let Petros and Money try that.
You're telling me.
Let them try that.
Uno mas. One more gong, my love. Yeah.
In your
Wow.
face.
Lakers, Clippers, who's going deeper in this wacky NBA playoffs? Again, Clippers get by Denver. They got to get by OKC. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I just don't see them getting past OKC.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So Lakers, they got to suck it up. They got to get defensive,
Yeah.
get tough, get the hunger. JJ Redick's been an incredible coaching job
Incredible.
the whole year.
Really
Uh,
has.
he's got to rise up with some more pep talks. Remember, he got him off the floor. He screamed
Yes.
at him.
Yeah.
That seemed to get their attention. Got to maybe do it again. Maybe do it every game, whatever it takes. I mean,
Whatever it takes.
LeBron is already at that level.
Yes.
Doncic is at that level. But
Yeah.
it's the other guys who really got to step up. I think Austin Reeves. Here's the message. Austin's got to really, step his game up, and the bench has got to contribute. The Vanderbilts of the world have got to score some points, like you say. The connects, the
Yes.
rookie,
Got to
get the
get him in.
rookie some time, get him some shots,
Yes.
and get down to McDaniel's. Again, he grows 3 inches every game.
He
It's
does.
insane to me.
No, he does. He does. And I
The guy
think
gets
that's the
longer
difference.
and longer.
Yeah, from last year and this year with them is really McDaniels. I mean, he's really done an amazing job, and he's just growing up. The Ant-Man's always good.
Always good, a tremendous
Yes,
ball player. And
tremendous.
again, Drew Randall,
Yeah.
the X factor of the series. But
Yes.
I will take Lakers in 7. Lakers in 7. Hayuko. Hey, gong me. Gong me. Hey, yeah, Lakers in 7. Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, we'll follow up on this next week. We'll see how he did. Uh, feeling you with
Feeling you,
Victor
PJ. And
Jacob
again, thank you to
and PJ.
all our patient listeners
Yes.
who have healed with me. Believe me, I felt your vibes. I felt your love. Helped me get through, my medical journey. So thank you so much to everyone, all the listeners out there.
Vic,
And
we're
again,
changing the name of the show to Healing You.
yeah, I'm feeling you and healing me.
Healing
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks, PJ.
Thank you, buddy. Stay well.